All right, we're live.
All right, everybody, welcome back. It is Monday with Let's Talk Trading. It is February 13th, 2023. It's not 2003, like I said last week. It was my bad, my bad. I was a little bit nervous. You know how it is. Today, we're going to talk about a little bit about different platforms that you can trade on, and the guys will be talking about also if they could go back with the knowledge that they have now, what mistakes would they correct? And we're also going to talk about some of the I guess
Like the first
like
couple steps
the
to
first couple steps to get into trading,
yeah.
and also some of the people that they watch and they follow that help them, with their trading on their daily trading that they do. So without further ado, we'll start it off with Jose. Man, how was your week of trading?
And my week was pretty solid, man. I had a good week last week. I've been trading like really smaller size. I've been working on trying to get a new technique of trading, a new style of trading down. So I cut down my size significantly. I've been trading with a lot less capital.
So when you say size, for our listeners who don't know what that means, kind of fill them in on what size means.
Yeah, so size is kind of just like the amount of capital that you trade with, right?
Okay, right.
So for us, instead of trading like if you were to put it into the perspective of stocks, instead of trading one share or 10 shares, yeah, that's what I've been doing. But yeah, that's kind of been my week, man. Just trading smaller size, trying to really dial in this new strategy that I'm doing, and studying a lot, man. How about you? How's your week been, man?
Same boat. Same. You know, I've been in the same boat.
Yeah.
Me and you have been studying the same mentor, the same strategy. A lot of studying, a lot of demo trading. I know there's not as much emotions in that, but still getting the practice down, still getting the fundamentals down of what I'm trying to do with this strategy. And yeah, it's been a really slow week for me, but gonna start picking up here pretty soon. Today was my first live day back on my 100K funded challenge, so
So
trying to get that funded account back. And yeah, that's about it. That's how my week's gone. Go ahead and pass it over
Love
to
to
you,
hear
Angie.
it.
nice,
Well,
nice.
my week personally, I'm gonna go ahead and call myself out firsthand.
Talk
No,
to
I
me.
had to, man. I had to. I've been trading like absolute dog shit this past couple weeks, actually. I've been breaking my rules, man. I've been trading degen hours. For those of you who don't know what that means, degenerate hours, when the market isn't open, basically, um, which is not really something that you should be doing. For like me personally, myself, every time I trade degen hours, I usually end up losing some money. And it's easier said than done not to do it. That goes back with battling your emotions, to trade. But today was good though. Last week, I'm trying to put that aside behind me. I know what I did wrong. I know what I need to fix, and it was just long story short, just the lack of discipline wasn't there. Um, Definitely could have had a lot more discipline last week. Definitely wasn't my best trading week. But like I said, that's behind me. Today went really good. Took like 3 or 4 trades. A couple of them went back to break even, and then I finally got my breakout. So I ended the day green today on my new challenge that I started. So starting off the week good. Starting off this trading week good. No complaints on there. So just trying to reset, like I said last episode, and try to get it going from there. Just trying to stick hard to the wall with discipline, which is what it takes. But
Super important.
yeah, that's pretty much my update for what I have going on. And yeah, just try to stay disciplined for me personally.
Good deal. Para la gente que nos está escuchando en español, ah, en lo que están ellos, se llama lo que dicen prop trading, es comercio de utilería. Ah, y ellos por lo menos de como 3 o 4 horas al día están en eso. Y esta semana para ellos estuvo muy baja, pero dicen que hoy empezó a subir otra vez, como que el mercado va mejorando. Ah, pero también ellos tienen la opción de, antes de meterse a invertir su dinero, ellos tienen la opción de lo que le dicen paper trading. Es como si pudiera entrenar o practicar con dinero de a mentiras y con cuentas que son reales, pero o sea, no va a ser dinero, porque claro que el dinero que está usando es de a mentiras. Y usted va practicando y practicando hasta que ya se sienta a gusto y crea que ahora sí ya puede invertir ya puedo crear mi propia cuenta y quiero invertir mi dinero y ahora sí me quiero arriesgar a ver si puedo ganar o perder, pero no pasa nada, claro. Y eso es lo que ellos hacen ahorita. Y como les digo, esta semana estuvo lenta, pero dicen que parece que ya va mejorando. Y también vamos a aprovechar a platicar un poco de si tuvieran la sabiduría que tienen ahorita, antes, ¿cómo la usarían ahorita a su ventaja y qué errores corrigirían, ¿no? Para que les hubiera ido mejor. Y ya saben que nosotros les vamos a platicar así como es, no vamos a estarles nada más contando lo bueno, vamos a contar lo bueno, lo malo, lo feo.
We're trying to keep it as real as possible. So we're gonna tell you all of our fuck ups, all of the good stuff.
Yeah.
And Trent's a little lost over there because he doesn't speak Spanish. But yeah, we're trying to keep it 100%. So we're not gonna try to sugarcoat nothing for this podcast. We're gonna keep it as real as possible. So we're gonna let you know when we do bad, when we do good, and when we do great. I mean, like I just told you guys right now, last week I had a horrible week. I broke pretty much all of my rules, but I mean that happens in trading. You got to work every day. So I mean, it is. You got to move on. Like I said, today's a new week. Today I was green. We were all pretty much green, and you go from there. You wake up tomorrow and trade again.
Y también les vamos a estar platicando de unas cuantas plataformas que pueden usar, como Robinhood y Weibo, son unas de las que usamos nosotros, y le vamos a dar nombres de unos YouTubers, ¿no?
Yeah, we'll go ahead and give you a couple of good people to go get some free education from. But I think we really want to get into a couple different platforms to start off with, and we'll go ahead and let Trent kind of go over a few platforms that he thinks is the best on his from Forex side, I believe, and we'll kind of go from there. We all kind of have different platforms that we each like for our own personal use. But so we'll go ahead and kind of go over which ones we like the most and what we like about them, what we don't, and just to try to help you guys understand where you can start from our perspective.
Yeah, so I don't think I'm going to be the only person going over this. I'm sure we can all.
No, yeah, 100%. Yeah, we're all definitely going to throw in our 2 cents.
Just some quick so sorry about that, but trading platforms that they're out there. Some real basic ones. You have TD Ameritrade. You have the Thinkorswim platform tied in with that. Webull, Robinhood. These are some of your more basic platforms. They're very easy to use, very beginner friendly, and it's very beginner friendly, very easy. And then you have some of your charting platforms like TradingView. That's one of my favorites. I know it's Jose's favorite.
Right. Now, for the listeners who don't even have an idea, whenever you say platforms, what are these platforms? Like, to somebody who doesn't even know, like, what are these platforms?
These platforms are basically brokers. They're you can trade through them. So you put your money on, not TradingView, but Robinhood, Webull, TD Ameritrade, things like that. You can put your money on there. You can fund those accounts, and those will be the accounts that you would trade with. You can also use those accounts for paper trading if that's what you would like to do.
Right.
But so just to go a little bit deeper into it. So like I said, you have TradingView for charting. That's definitely one of my favorites. Very beginner friendly, but there also is the more intermediate side to it. There's a lot of different things you can use, but it's not hard to start using. And then something else I wanted to go over too, you have a long-term investment platform. So Fidelity, Charles Schwab, Vanguard, those would be like things where you would feel really safe putting your money in. It's backed, and these would be things like more like for ETFs. Like if you're doing things that are long-term, so you're investing a certain amount of money and you're not expecting a great return in the next 1 month, 2 months, 3 months.
So these would be
investments and stuff.
So these would be good for the people who aren't trying to day trade, for the people who just want to invest.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So if you want to just put money somewhere, say you're investing, know you have something that's good going on, and not have to worry about it and stress about it, these will be the platforms that you would go with. Gotcha. And then also, if you're on the Forex side, I don't know if we have any listeners on the Forex side, but if you are on the Forex side, I know you already know to trade. You use MT4, you can use MT5, and a more unpopular one, but still used is C-Trader. And that's actually what we're using, not C-Trader, but MT4 and MT5 is what we're having to use now to trade through our prop firm FTMO, which we'll get into later. But so that's just a few of the platforms. There are so many more out there. I encourage y'all to do y'all's own research. I mean, there's like so many more out there, but those are just some of the more trusted ones. I mean, Robinhood, I named down the list. That was one I wanted to go over. Definitely not trusted. We went over that in the last pod. Not the best.
And I'm sure Robinhood is the one that everybody and their mama knows about too.
Yeah. And then last thing. This is like probably the more advanced side, the most advanced side of platforms, at least to my knowledge that I know. For one, on the Thinkorswim platform, you can use level 2. So if you wanted to read the tape, which I don't know if any of our listeners know about that, it's more the intermediate to advanced side. You can read the tape with that on the level 2 at Thinkorswim. And if you want to take it a step further and look at footprint charts, you can use things like NinjaTrader. There's a couple of other platforms out there that I can't name off the top of my head, but footprint charts just give you a way more in-depth view of the market. And then to end it off, you want to see order flow in a crazy way that I can't explain it. But you got to go look at it. They have footprint charts in level 2 as well. It's called Bookmap. No free promo or anything like that. But Bookmap's a great option out there. So yeah, that's it. It's a lot of platforms for y'all to choose from. I know I just put a lot of information out there, but again, I encourage you to do your own research.
And for your personal self, like I know for me, if I were to recommend one of these platforms to somebody who's just starting off, I would recommend Webull. Like for me, I think Webull's charts are super easy to read. They're more advanced than Robinhood. I feel like that's kind of the next step from a Robinhood account to all the listeners who are trying to figure out a way to learn. I personally think like I still use Webull to this day to chart. Yeah. Like I use the MT4 platform to make my trades, but I use Webull to chart. Yeah. So that's what I'm basing my entries and exits off of. Like for you, for example, like what platform do you use like currently to chart, for example?
Well, first off, let me start by saying I completely agree as far as Webull. Like if you want to, if there's like a beginner friendly all around, just not the best but not the worst, just a good platform to use, I would say Webull, because charting is simple, charting is easy, it's very clean, and it's easy to look at. That's the words I'm looking for. It's very easy to look at, and then all of your executions and stuff like that, very easy. Closing your positions, very easy. It's not like you have to, I don't know, jump through hoops and stuff to do stuff like that. So Webull, definitely a great option. And then you asked me, what am I using?
Yeah, like what do you personally use? Like your charting?
So really for the longest, I've been MT4 and TradingView, just MT4 and TradingView. So if I was paper trading, I was using MT4, or I was using an account from a platform like FTMO offers paper trading free trials and stuff like that. So
gotcha.
Yeah.
Nice. What about you, Jose?
Trading executions MT4 and then charting TradingView. But
yeah, for sure. I'm on the same boat, bro. Like I started on Webull probably the whole year. Like I said, like y'all said, super beginner friendly. When I first started, like I got into it on Robinhood, and like we all just Robinhood, you feel me?
Right.
But yeah, so I started. I did like a whole year on there, bro, and it's super beginner friendly. Like if you're on the platform, the whole platform will kind of like what it's like. If you want to like learn about this here, learn about that here. So you can learn a lot about trading just by being. But like you said, it's not the best and it's not the worst. And talking to the beginner, man, like you honestly, you don't need the best, right? The best.
I'm not to cut you off. I was going to say, just to add on to it, I think it's just based on your objective. Like, as what you're trying to do. I mean,
so yeah, let's
get into that actually.
Let's talk on that for a second. Yeah.
Hold on. I'm sorry. So for someone that wants to start off, like, what would be your best recommendation? And if you can you put you could like where the messages are at? Mm-hmm. If you could put the names of the platforms that we're talking about. That way,
cool.
That way, the people can know what we're talking about.
For sure. If you're looking for it, I'll have it over here in the comments right now.
And kind of explain to them like what paper trading is.
Yeah, we'll do that over the pod. But yeah, I'll just have all these.
Okay, so like let's kind of get into that for a second. I think for the person that's just starting out, right? You haven't done anything. You haven't ever put money into a
So let's say I don't have a clue. I don't have not one clue.
A single clue.
So if I don't have not one clue to trading, just how I was like almost 2 years ago, what would you recommend me to do first?
I think the first objective before anything else is figure out what is your objective, right? Are you wanting to build wealth over time? Are you wanting to put your money in there and not really have to worry?
Which is going to be called
investing.
Right.
So what type of person are you? Like, be honest with yourself.
Are you somebody that's trying to see results today and tomorrow, or are you somebody that's a little more patient and you're willing to hold on to things and see where your money goes? So I think that's your first objective. Figure out what do you want to achieve by trading.
Right, and I think that's one thing that you're going to learn pretty quick while becoming a trader. So you're going to figure out what kind of trader you are pretty quick. So that's one thing that I can say for sure.
Reiterate, be honest with yourself. Like the only person you're cheating
don't lie to
is yourself.
Man,
and like this isn't a game where you just cheat yourself and nothing happens. You cheat yourself, you lose money, you cheat yourself, and you go through emotions and a lot of mental shit with this. It's not like don't play yourself just thinking, oh, I'm this, I'm this because I see other people doing it and it works for them, so I'm gonna do it. No, do what works for you.
Keep in mind, me, Trey, and Jose, we all trade differently. Like none of us trade the same. We trade the same ticker and the same indice, but our entries and exits are almost like not even close, like to any of them. Like not even close. So keep that in mind. We're on live boys trading every day. None of us trade the same. So I mean, just keep that in mind.
And there's like not a thousand. There's millions of different ways.
Millions.
To profitably make
Millions.
money. I'm not gonna say millions. For y'all that are out there, right? There's no way to get the exact number. I don't know. Regardless, there's so many different ways to make money. Like I can make money buying at the same time as somebody that's making money and selling. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't mean that I'm right because I'm making money and you're wrong. Like we can both be right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So bringing it back to the beginner, that's your first objective. Figure out what it is you want to achieve. So like I said, if you want to make money in the long term and just kind of not have to worry about day to day, go to the investing side, right?
Yeah, like I'm sure us three, like I'm sure that we have the same end goal with trading is we're trying to make a career out of trading. So we're trying to do this shit every single day. We're here. We have a couple hours in the morning. We're on that shit every single day. We're actually trying to make this possibility like the main source of income, which is for me is going to be like kind of my goal. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
So
that's a goal for all of us.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So going back,
but that's like our goal.
Let's look at the other side of it. If your objective is to try to make a little money every single day, then that's what we do, right? That's we can lace you up on the investing side of it to an extent, but our main thing is we try to make money every single day because that fits our personality.
Exactly.
Right? So that's step one for the beginner. Figure out: are you trying to make money every day, or are you trying to let your money grow for you?
Yeah.
Right. So that's what we can what we're going to talk about for today, right? The trading, the actual trading side of it. So for the beginners, the first thing that we always recommend is start to educate yourself, right? So where do we go to get some education?
YouTube University.
YouTube University, man. I'm telling you, it's fucking 2023, man. You don't have to pay for nothing. Okay, you don't have to pay for shit. Everything is literally free.
And this
on
is
YouTube.
coming from like I don't know for sure about you, but I know for me, I bought a decent.
Yeah, I remember you saying that shit.
Yeah, first year,
I've definitely bought into a Discord before. 100%.
Thought that was 100%.
Yep.
Yeah. So like I said, the first couple things is start to educate yourself. So we're going to give you guys a couple recommendations, not recommendations, just who we personally feel that we took the most value out of their content.
Right.
Because if you go on YouTube right now, there's a million people trying to educate people.
Yeah.
And sometimes the information that they put out is good. Sometimes the information that they put out is bad. And like your first couple of years, if you're doing this,
you don't know.
Filter through all that.
You don't even know that. You don't know better.
Hours and hours and hours. Yeah. But luckily for you guys,
we did it for you.
You've been you
got us here.
And we have kind of an idea of who's putting out good content, who's putting out bad content. Not bad content, just what's going to be most informational to you.
Yeah.
Right. So like you were beginner, right? What does the first beginner have to do if you've never put any money into it?
Mm-hmm.
Start educating yourself, right?
Right.
Kind of figure out what it is you want to achieve and start digging a little deeper into that.
And to dive in a little bit deeper on what you want to achieve and all that stuff, I know that a lot of people have great, amazing goals. I do too. Nothing wrong with that. Never shooting that down. Shoot for the stars on everything. But you also have to be very realistic with the life that you have, the lifestyle that you're living. Whether you have bills, whether you're in debt, whether you have kids, whether you have a significant other, all these different things. So I shouldn't have to really say this, but I feel like you do. Be very conscientious with what you're going for in trading. Like you could want to be a day trader, and that's awesome. And that could be what's best for you, and that could be the trading style that works the best for you. But if you have to settle for swinging right now, and
your lifestyle doesn't
and so swing trading for the people who don't know.
I'll get into swing trading just 1 second, but just to get a toe in the water, just to get a feeling for it, and to start getting that chart time, to start actually seeing how the candlesticks move, and to see how price fluctuates and stuff like that. Just do that and do that for as long as you can until life changes or until you're making money trading, to supplement it to where you can start trading, full time, whatever. But yeah, I just wanted to reiterate that, and then to go over what swing trading is. That's just really holding a trade for anything really over a day. 2 days you consider that swing trading, but a lot of times people swing for weeks, months, and then intermediate term.
Intermediate term. It's like you're holding a couple weeks, a month.
You can fact check me on that. I'm not for sure.
We call it more like position trading, right? You get into a position, you start your position, and you hold it with an expectation of it to go higher or lower, depending on which side you're trading towards. But yeah, you don't have to watch that day to day. You get into that and you can sit there for a week, 2 weeks, a month, sometimes even a few months, right? Or a year, you know, but yeah, what we do is more day trading, right? So that just breaking it down more for the beginner, those are kind of the main 3 ways to trade. You have your day trading, you have your swing trading, and you have your position trading.
Yeah.
Right. Like I said, we focus on day trading. So we're looking at like the daily chart, the 4 hour, 1 hour, everything under that, right?
Right. Like for example, like I strictly place my entries and my exits using a 3-minute time frame. Like today, for example, the trade I was in was literally like a 4-minute trade, like compared to, you know, swing trading where you're in for a couple of days. I was in today for 4 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like it just depends what you want to do with it.
Also, don't expect to just, I don't know, don't expect to just come in there and start trading off the 1 minute instantly like that.
Yeah.
Man,
No, I can.
dude.
For beginners, yeah,
Like,
beginners stay away.
I know we're saying like, you know, like what works, you know, best for your personality type and everything, and that is very true. But also keep in mind that the lower you go down in time frame, generally the faster price is moving, or the more erratic price looks like it's moving.
Right.
And yeah, it just, I'm not going to say it's more advanced because a lot of the patterns and everything are the exact same, and the methodology is the exact same, and everything is really the same. But it's just something about it, man. You got to be a trader to know, and you'll know. Like there's something about it where you need a certain amount of chart time.
You need screen time, man.
Yeah,
screen time is everything.
Knowledge and all that stuff where you get into something like that. Like it'll eat you up.
Let's kind of talk to them about what are their options. What are their options for trading? What kind of assets can they trade? Right. So if you're a beginner, like what
so in this, so I think this is a great question because I think it goes down to what kind of market we're in. For example, if you were to ask me this question 2 years ago, I would have tell you, oh, you know, look into small caps. Yeah, look into penny stocks.
Get out of here.
Just fucking buy, hold, and you're gonna make some fucking money. But if you were to ask me now, I would just say all you need to learn is one indice and you're good. Like for example, like we all trade SPY now, like strictly. We don't trade nothing else. Like we're not. SPY? So SPY is the S&P basically. So we're not trading like Apple. We're not trading Tesla. We're not trading Microsoft. Like for example, we're not trading different tickers. We're trading like the bigger picture, right? Yeah. So like for me right now, that's all I even care about, even learning to trade, because I know that's going nowhere. It's not going to go anywhere anytime soon. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be around till the end of time, till the end of fucking financials in the United States. Like that's going to be around.
But for people that don't know, what is SPY?
So SPY is think about it. I'm going to put it in like dummy terms. Think about it as like a big bubble, right? And then you have all these companies in that bubble. You're trading that big bubble, all those companies inside of it, right? So like when I'm trading, I'm also looking at Apple and Microsoft, because in that big bubble, Apple and Microsoft take up the most room in that big bubble, if that makes sense, right? So let's say Apple does something crazy, it's going to affect the big bubble, right? Which is going to be the S&P, because it has so much weight in the S&P. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, so for dummy terms, you're trading a big bubble with all these companies inside of that bubble. Yeah. For long story short, yeah. And so, yeah, pretty much just for like dummy terms. Yeah. So there's no need to try to sit here and wake up in the morning. And I mean, there's people who trade like this. Like I used to trade like this until I started this, but like I used to wake up in the morning and create a watch list of like 5 to 10 different tickers, and tickers are going to be stocks, different company names. And I used to only try to go long, for example. So I would just try to make that watch list every single morning of like 5 to 10 different tickers, and hopefully pray that one of those tickers will form like a bull flag, for an example. Like that's how I used to be getting into my trades. And like for those of you who don't know what a bull flag is, it's basically like a chart pattern that you'll see, and you'll start to recognize it once you start getting more screen time in. But it's pretty much like the most recognizable chart pattern to get into. Like that's what I got into today, and it paid, was a bull flag pattern. But it's just a big bubble basically.
So your main takeaway for the beginner is kind of just focus on one thing.
Yeah, right? Just focus on one thing, man. Because look,
don't try to go everywhere.
Like I'm gonna say this like an analogy, right? Let's say you have 10 girlfriends, right? Valentine's Day is coming up, right? You might not remember what all those 10 girls like. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Let's say you have one girlfriend. You're going to know what she likes like the back of your hand, because that's the only girl that you're studying. That's the only girl that you're with. So if you just have that one girl, you're going to know every single thing about her. You're going to know how she moves, how she talks, how she eats, how she sleeps, all this stuff. But if you have 10 other girls, you might just know how they talk. You might just know how they walk, but you're not gonna know everything else. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, that's kind of how I like to put it for, you know, a man like me, I guess that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? But no, man, yeah, just stick to learning one thing. If I could go back and tell myself that, that would be like a huge piece of advice is just try to learn one thing, like master one thing.
Don't try to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah, because like I said, like Apple could disappear. Microsoft could disappear. Tesla could disappear. It
I
could.
doubt it.
It
but-
could though. But it
hypothetically,
could though. It could. Hypothetically, it could. S&P is not going anywhere.
But yeah, so I got one thing to say for the beginner trader, and then one thing to say for as far as like different things that you can trade. So whenever
I'm
we
gonna
talk
get
about like
backlash on that analogy. I already know.
Whenever you finish, let me just tell them in Spanish.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
We'll talk about.
But anyways, yeah. So So for the beginner trader, dang, lost my train of thought for a second.
Tell them
Sorry.
Spanish trader.
No, but for the beginner trader, anyways, I was gonna say for the getting that chart time, I know that's a lot, very hard for some people. People have jobs.
It's
people have,
boring.
it's boring sometimes. Yeah, it depends if you have
Oh,
regardless, if you have a passion for it, you like that shit. Sometimes it's fun as hell. But regardless, if you need to get that chart time in, and you have jobs or other things in your life that are like keeping you away from that. Whenever we're talking about swing trading and stuff, you can do what Andrew was talking about but do it like on a weekly perspective. So let's say you have your tickers or Forex, which is something I'm going to talk about right after this. But whenever you have your tickers and you have them all in front of you, let's say you're looking for bull flags or flag patterns, whatever it may be, whatever your pattern is that you're looking for, you can just look for that at the beginning of the week or on Sunday, whatever it is, for looking at, price over the last week or whatever, and do your trade throughout that 1 week. Just pop one trade a week, so you get that feeling of the emotions of being in a trade. You get that feeling if you lost money, you made money. You get that feeling of actually seeing something, like you actually have you have skin in the game, if for lack of better words. And the second thing I wanted to say, just as far as things that you can trade, are forex, foreign currency pairs. So you can trade like the U.S. dollar versus the yen, or Canadian dollar, or the yen is Japanese currency for y'all that don't know. You can just trade different currencies. The reason I'm putting this out there is, again, for the people who have jobs or the people who have family and stuff like that. These are assets, or not assets, but things you can trade that are a little bit more flexible in time. So if you let's say that you work throughout the day and you need to trade throughout the night, or you need to trade like they have the London session where you can trade what's really the Asian if you want to trade at 12 a.m. But yeah, not trying to get too deep in everything, but regardless, you can trade overnight or you can trade later at night. Because Andrew was talking about earlier, DJ hours, that would be for stock trading if you're trading like stocks and stuff like that. But there's pairs that you can trade where that would not be considered DJ hours. That is the prime time to be trading that pair. So there's what I'm trying to get out there is there's things out here for everybody. It's not just the way we're doing it, or the way your favorite mentor is doing it, or the way our favorite mentor is doing it. That's not the only ways to do it. There's so many other ways to do it. Don't feel discouraged, and if you have questions, ask them. I mean, we're all here to
Literally ask.
So, yeah,
we are live right now. We show,
Right.
so we have some Spanish speaking audience, so we're gonna let Ray play some up real quick. We'll get this.
Lo que están platicando ellos es para la gente que apenas va empezando. Ellos les recomiendan mucho buscar videos en YouTube y estudiar hasta que más o menos ya se sienten seguros por sí mismos, como les estaba diciendo, para crear una cuenta. Pero como quiera, ya cuando crean esa cuenta, pueden meterse a cursos donde les enseñan cómo invertir, en dónde invertir y cómo leer los cuadros, lo que le dicen como una banderilla de toro. Es cuando ves donde llega a su punto más alto, y ahí es donde uno dice, bueno, pues me está yendo bien. Pero siempre es meterse a YouTube o agarrar cursos, aprender lo que puedan más posible antes de empezar a invertir su dinero, aprender lo más que puedan y tratar también de controlar sus emociones, porque hay gente que se desespera y quiere dinero luego, y hay gente que sí, bueno, quiero invertir, pero me aguanto, quiero que el dinero se quede a lo largo. Y pronto uno se va a dar cuenta qué clase de inversionista va a ser. Y eso es lo que ellos están diciendo. So,
también les quería volver a decir lo que acabamos de decir. Cuando vas empezando, la cosa más importante es averiguar qué tipo de inversiones quieres hacer. Mucho tiempo en tu día, puedes hacer lo que hacemos nosotros y tomar unas horas en las mañanas y estar enfrente de las herramientas. Tratar de hacer dinero día a día. Oh,
Second episode, guys. Second
episode.
episode. We're getting used to it.
Si no tienes la libertad de tener tiempo durante el día, si tienes un trabajo de día y no llegas a la casa en la tarde, de todos modos hay cosas que puedes hacer para hacer dinero. Hay diferentes mercados en los que puedes invertir. Puedes invertir en el mercado de Forex, no solamente en el mercado de stocks, acciones. Entonces, es nomás el tiempo que tienes y el tiempo que puedes invertir para empezar a educarte. Este juego que hacemos es todo de educación y manejar las emociones.
And you have to remind them to keep in mind that trading is the only job to where you can study, and actually know what you're talking about, and then still lose. You know what I'm saying? So while you're learning, don't feel upset that you're losing trades, even if they're paper trades. Don't feel upset that you're losing trades like while you're first starting, because I promise you can sit here and study YouTube videos for days and months, but until you actually sit behind that screen and watch those candlesticks move up and down and watch the price action and have news affect it, like in any type of studying that you're going to do, is, I don't want to say it's going to be like not essential, but until you actually sit down and put yourself in front of the screen and sit there and watch this shit move, like whatever you're taking notes for isn't gonna click until you put them together with the screen time. So like I said, like you have to put in the screen time as well as the study time, because I feel like, I don't want to say they're different, but the screen time and study time go together. You know what I'm saying? So if you're learning about, let's say, EMAs, for example, you have to look at it on the actual chart to see how they work and what's going on. So I mean, just don't feel discouraged, if you study and you feel like you don't know something, because at the end of the day, like until you actually see these charts move, it's gonna be a mission. I mean, it's a mission still. It's never gonna stop. You're always gonna have to keep learning, gonna have to keep on studying, but putting in the screen time, just sitting in front of that screen for hours a day and watching that shit move until you get used to it. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
But I also kind of want to get into, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I really want to get into pretty much how big the emotions are for this game, or why they're so big. You know what I'm saying? Why do y'all think emotions are so big?
Man, just to put my 2 cents into it, I was talking to a buddy of ours earlier this morning, Blake. So there's
Blake, what it do?
Blake?
Blake.
But yeah, so when you talk about trading, and it was explained to me like this: there's 3 people inside of every single person when it comes to trading. There's the analyst, the person that's looking at the charts, actually, reading the price action. There's the trader, the person who's clicking to buy and sell, and then there's the gambler, right?
Man, I never heard that. I love that. I love that.
The person that's seeing the money move up and down. Right?
Yeah.
When you actually see money move and you're up in a position or you're down in a position, that's the emotion, right? So it goes into like your risk tolerance. How much money are you willing to sit through losing in order to see if your idea is right or wrong? But I think that's the emotional side of trading, right? Because you can, like how you were saying earlier, you can study all the charts until you get into a position and you access the gambler inside of you,
right?
Because like everyone says that trading is gambling,
and I hate to even say the word gamble in the pod, but
and I'm gonna just tell y'all like how I explain it to the people that always say trading is gambling. When you gamble, you make a bet, and if you're wrong, your money is tied up. You can't take your money out.
Yep.
Right. Like if you lose, you're gonna lose.
Yep.
The difference between gambling and trading is that in trading, when you're wrong, you have the freedom and the ability to get out of your position
whenever you want,
whenever you need to. Right.
Right.
If you lose money, it's because you let yourself lose money.
That's right.
Right. If you see that I got into it, if I get into a trade and something's on the charts telling me, all right, I'm wrong, I can either take my loss and cut it short, right, minimize the risk, or I can generate gambler, leave my money in there, and it might come back, I might make money. So that's the emotional side of trading, right? The emotional side of trading is getting into a position and not liking to admit that you're wrong, or getting into a position by fear of missing out. You see something going, and it's like, oh, bro, it's leaving without me. I need to get it right now. Versus
Yeah.
do the analyzed approach and waiting, all right, it's not at the place where I want it to be, and so I'm not getting it.
Right.
That's managing your emotions. What is managing emotions to go?
Yeah, so like I know for me, for example, dude, like whenever I first started trading, I hated to be wrong, man, and I would let my losers run. Literally, like I was just telling Trent on the way over here, that 15K position that I had in that
Oh yeah, all the way to Austin.
all the way to Austin and go, bro.
Yeah.
So a little story time here. I'm gonna tell this story here on the pod. Only like 3 people know this fucking story. So I'm on my way to my older brother's wedding in Austin, right? And I was like a damn near 15K position an option. And at this time, this is when I was still like, learning options. Like I didn't really know much about it. And I was following that guy who I had told you who put me onto trading. So we're literally on the car ride. I have Arnold. Arnold can vouch for me. He was in the passenger seat, bro. And this is on fucking Robinhood, right? So in the car ride on the way to Austin, bro. And I'm just literally averaging down into this position, bro. And then so I averaged all the way down into like a $15,000 position, and it was a 0 DTE. It expired that same day. And I didn't know about like the time, like it faded a K or any of that. So I'm just like, oh, like I'm just gonna average down, like it'll come back up, And then so like we're like halfway to Austin, and then the position just goes all the way down to like I have like about $1,000 left in this position, and I just like I couldn't sell. Like I saw it going down and down and down, but like I just couldn't sell because my emotions were just so high and peaked. I didn't want to face the fact that I was wrong. And in trading, you're gonna be wrong a majority of the time, but you have to keep your losses smaller than your winners, because when you do have your winners, they eat up all your losses. But that's why you have to have the emotional strength to realize, okay, I was wrong on this trade. Let me cut my trade before I lose some more money. You know what I'm saying? Like that takes a lot, and it still takes a lot now, bro. Like nobody likes to be wrong. You know what I'm saying? But you have to put up the discipline and just the willpower to, accept the fact that you were wrong, you lost some money, or move on. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because in this game, you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose. And if you don't think that in this game you're gonna lose, then you're not gonna last at all. Like straight up. So I mean, with me, the way I battle emotions is I just have to remind myself to stay disciplined. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's really all about being disciplined, because I mean, do you really want to lose more money? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, do you want to lose more money, or do you want to be disciplined?
Like which
one?
How much is it going to take for you to learn that lesson?
Exactly, bro. And it's taken me thousands of dollars. I'm not, like, me personally, I'm not going to say it has to take y'all or the listeners thousands of dollars, but me personally, it's taking me thousands of dollars to like learn that shit, to like, bro, you're fucking wrong. Cut it, move on to the next trade.
I think that really goes back to what we were speaking on earlier. What kind of person are you? The personality that you have,
right?
I think you and me both, and I think I can speak.
Yeah, we have fucking alpha mentalities, man. Yeah, competitive, bro. My whole life, I played sports growing up, and I was always like badass in whatever I did, bro. Yeah. Like I was team captain for varsity baseball all 4 years as a fucking freshman too. So like, I just had that mentality of just like, I'm a fucking beast. Like, nah, there's no way I'm wrong. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But trading has taught me, like, trading has humbled me.
100%.
Humbled me. 100%. I can say that. Yeah. They have to be humbled.
What about you, Trent? What do you consider the emotional side of trading? Talk to him.
It's like I'm scared.
Put me on the spot. Thinking I was zoned off, but all of it, everything about trading is emotional. Just having your money, having your skin in the game, that makes it emotional.
So I want to bring up an example from you that you actually just recently had not too long ago. I want you to kind of touch up on your emotions. When you were like $20 away from passing the challenge, and then you see, yeah. Go ahead and lace us up on those emotions, bro. I know they were crazy.
The most embarrassing thing as a trader for me, but for those of y'all that don't know, we're gonna talk about this later on the podcast when we talk about prop firms. But FTMO is a prop firm that me and Jose are currently trying to trade for. Andrew's trying to trade for them too, or Jose is funded with them. I'm sorry, my fault. But me and Andrew are trying to get our challenges, our funded challenges. I used to be funded by them, lost the account, and then went to go. So I had 100K, lost 100K, and then went from 100K to a 200K and was like, screw it, I lost 100K, but it only makes sense to get a 200K, right? That's just what you do.
Right.
It doesn't make sense at all. Regardless, got a 200K, and I passed the initial part of the challenge, the first part, and then I think I'm talking about the same thing. Regardless, I passed the first part, and then the second part of the challenge, you're supposed to make 5%. I'm not going to go into all the details. We'll talk about it later. but I got like I think it was like not $20, but I think it was like $100 or $100 something away from my objective. Missed it, got super emotional, super upset, and started chasing the market that entire morning. That entire rest of that morning, just chasing every trade. No trade was a part of my trading plan. No trade was confirmed by anything else. Nothing was anything how I was trading up until that point. It was just like a rogue trader like took over me, and it's so crazy because I've been in this for over 3 years now, and it's like you would think that you would have that like wherewithal to be like, hey, stay disciplined. Hey, you know better than this. Hey, who doesn't know about FOMO?
Yep.
You're missing out. Everybody knows that.
And the
Who
crazy
doesn't know
part
about
is,
chasing the trade. Everybody
right
knows
after,
don't chase the trades. Everybody knows that. Like you're not supposed to do these
And
are
I just-
like beginner things that you're supposed to know. And you're, you know, playing around with $200,000 worth of money, you can't get that down in your head.
Yep.
But yeah,
But
so
that goes to show
was
that it could just happen to anybody, dude. Like
no, that
Yeah.
any
never,
given day, like
Yeah.
you could just,
that never goes away though. Like I read up on like top traders who I personally follow all the time, and even they tell me like emotions go nowhere.
Yeah.
Like that's why even some traders fail after being successful after like 5-6 years. Like it just takes that one bad year, and like you can fail, but just like their emotions are going to go anywhere. You just have to learn how to control them.
and to
You just
to
have to learn.
and to or not to reiterate, but just to go deeper into what I was talking about, whenever that one part of my emotion, because like it's hard to explain that high that you feel whenever you're so close to having a $200,000.
Because people don't understand.
You don't understand like the door that opens as far as like what the possibilities are. with
Your entire life can
funding,
change.
everything. I mean, just imagine just making 10% on that is 20K. Sorry about that, guys. Can't stop that. But regardless, anyways, yeah. So once that I had that very high of emotions, I was doing really good, knocking out all my trades, everything was perfect. And then, throughout the week, and then I got to that point where I got so close and missed it. And whenever you're talking about holding a trade for way too long past your stop loss, I chased the trade. Didn't have one. I got stopped out. Sorry for rambling. Got stopped out. Tried to chase the trade in and get in again. This time with no stop loss, and just let it keep going down. I lost, but I forgot, like at least 2%.
Yeah, and that's pretty much identical to my trade.
Yeah, but what was crazy is the emotional spiral that came after that. So you would think like, okay, that happened. Took like 2 or 3 steps back. Let me reset. Be like, okay, I'm obviously emotional right now. Obviously not in the right state of mind. Whatever, blah blah. You would think that would happen. That did not happen at all. Even going into the next day, I was still like extremely. I still felt the same emotions, the same anger. And I was still chasing, trying to get back to, because I could have sworn I passed the count. Like it just felt like I'd already passed it, even though I didn't. It felt like it was right there, and it wasn't. So, the next week, probably the next 2 weeks, I just completely terrible trading, nothing within my trading plan, nothing like that, and ended up failing that, ended up losing that account. So that just goes to show you, man, it can happen to anybody.
But the thing is that people really don't understand when you get that close to something that's, literally potentially life changing, like.
I did it start to finish.
You know what I'm saying?
I literally did that start like from the beginning of the account to start to finish in front of y'all. I remember whenever I passed the first part of the 200K, I said I blew that like shit out the water. It was supposed to make 20K, and I made 34.
Like, bro, people don't. It just takes one funded account to change your life.
Yeah.
It just takes one time to change your life. Just one. Literally. But so let's kind of
transition into the next part. We're going to talk about different account types, right? So right now we just talked about his journey with the prop trading account that he had, the side of it. But there's a lot of people that don't know what a prop is and what prop trading is.
So what if before we talk about prop trading, let's throw out the difference between a margin account and a cash account for these beginner traders.
Oh yeah, that would be a transition. So for beginner traders, there's 2 different types of accounts that you can have. One being a margin account. So for a margin account, if you want to be able to day trade, you need $25,000 in that account.
Which is going to be called the PDT rule. For those of you who don't know,
the pattern day trading rule, kind of rules that we have in the United States that prevent newer traders from putting on too much risk and risking too much. Essentially, right? So you need $25,000 in that account for you to be able to day trade that, to be able to day trade today, close it today.
Right. Now we know that not everybody has $25,000 sitting around to invest. So if they don't have 25 grand to invest, what's the next account they can get to day trade?
The second type of account that you can open on a platform like we were recommending earlier is called a cash account.
Right.
A cash account, you put the money you want to trade. Like say, example, right? You have $500. That's all you have. You put that $500 in that account. The cash account will let you trade your money with no pattern day trading rule. So if you make $100 today, right, you can close out your trade, and that $100 will be available for you to trade tomorrow.
Right.
On the opposite, if you lose $100 today, right, you're down to 400. You only have $400 to keep trading, right? So it's kind of like the way that you think an account should make money to trade with it.
Did you bring up how margin works on like a margin account? Let's say like, because if you have 25 grand, you can really trade up to like 80 grand on a marginal account.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But let's talk about how bad that is actually.
That is
let's talk about how risky that is.
I would recommend you really stay away from. When you trade on margin, it's essentially borrowed money.
Right.
So when you trade on borrowed money, you don't have the emotional stability, right? That most traders like that. Bro, even if you're a trader, you have issues with that. When you trade with borrowed money, if you lose that money, you have to pay it back. It's called a margin call. So if you lose that money and you're in the hole and you're never able to trade your way out of it, because that's another thing about the margin account. You have that money that you borrow it. You can keep trading that money until you either make it back or you lose it all. Once you lose it all, you get what's called a margin call, right? So when you get that margin call, you are legally obligated to pay that money back, right? You're trading somebody else's money, and you are now obligated to give that money back to them, whether it's by trading it or whether it's right out of your bank account, right? You have to pay that money back. So when I say stay away from margin, by all means possible, stay away.
So we can pretty much say that it's safe to say if you're a beginner trader, just stay away from the margin account. If you want to put a little bit of cash in an account, just get a cash account. But so those are going to be those two kind of basic accounts. Now let's get into the prop firms. Which is kind of the bread and butter, kind of what we want to talk about.
Yes, sir. So the prop firms, it's a proprietary trading firm. So once you learn how to actually trade, you develop a skill, you can go to companies which fund traders. They give you access to some of their funds. You can trade with their money, very little risk, very little to no risk to yourself. Right. So we pay a fee to get access to the account, and you pass a two-step verification, which is pretty standard for most of them.
But you also get the feedback once you pass, right?
Mind you, the verifications differ across different proprietary.
Yeah, it depends what prop firm that you want to use, but they all have different sets of rules to get funded by them. It just depends which one you want to go with.
So going on to that, it's you have to, number one, learn the skill. Right? There are rules that you have to follow and abide by in order to trade their capital. But essentially, that's their verification. That verification proves to them that you are a profitable trader. Once you pass that verification, you have access to their funds, right? So, for example, $100,000 account, which is what, or $20,000.
And people might hear these numbers, 100K, 50K, 200K, and just be like, "What?" Like mind blown. Mm-hmm. But we're here to tell y'all, like, this is the reality of it. Like, we're actually getting this amount of money to trade with. It's not like we're sitting here like gassing this up, like. Legitimately $100,000 to trade with,
and
even 200K.
Encourage you to do your own. Like, if there's anything that you feel like, oh, that's too good to be true. Oh, there's no way that.
Do your research.
Just research. It's a quick Google search away. I promise you. The most well-known one, most respected prop firm is FTMO by far. Everybody uses FTMO.
That's who we're trying. That's who we're on right now.
That's who we're with right now. They have a little bit more expensive prices, but you're paying for what you're getting. It's a more regulated prop firm. They have so many different tools and options available. FTMO is definitely not sponsored this podcast.
Not yet.
This is just for fun. Hopefully, you'll see us on the FTMO interview though pretty soon. But regardless, so I'll go ahead and take this time to go down the list.
Go ahead.
I'm just going to throw out 4 prop firms out there, just a quick little list of ones you can go over. There are so many more, and something I do caution you is that be very careful whenever you're looking at some of these, because the ones I'm naming are good, but there are some out there that have some, whether they're scammy or they have some very what's the word for that? Iffy rules. Like some of them are made for you. Some of them have rules that are made for you not to pass. Some of them are more for whenever we're talking about. There's a fee for them to even look at your application and all that stuff, or for you to even have that the challenge, the opportunity to get that funded account, yeah, they'll just have some rules in there that are made for you to slip up so they can just get that money. But the ones I'm naming aren't a part of that, and there are many more out there that are not a part of that. But FTMO, obviously, number one, easiest one that I would recommend. I mean, they're just trusted by everybody. There's so much research on them. Do a Google search, YouTube, anything like that. There's hella people getting paid out by them, all types of stuff like that. My Forex funds is another good one. I've heard some good and bad, but majority good about my Forex funds, and I haven't heard about people getting messed over on their payouts. So no crazy rules with them, and whenever they are funded, they do get their payouts. So that's obviously one of the most important parts. The funded trader, that's a newer one that comes out. It's really good for EAs. So if any of y'all are out there that use EA traders, if y'all don't know what that is, it's basically having like an algorithm, like trade for. It's a what's that called? Why can't I say EA right now? It's not a brain fart.
Expert advisor.
Expert advisor.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Regardless, yeah, expert advisor is basically like a trading robot. It trades for you in the. We'll probably have a podcast episode talking about that in the future. But regardless, if you do have an EA and you are knowledgeable about EAs, that would be a great option for you, as well as Level Up Society. And Level Up Society comes from. We're going to end this podcast talking about our 3 favorite educational resources, and one of my favorite influencers that I'm going to list later is the creator of Level Up Society, him and some other people. But yeah, that's just a name 4 of them out there. They have good prices, access to. I know with FTMO, you can just starting out, like paying, you can have access up to $400,000 capital, and then as far as their what's the word for that? Having brain farts back and forth here. Regardless, 400K, and as far as like building up, you can't buy scaling. Goodness gracious, it's crazy. Like English just stops working whenever I got the camera on me. But anyways, yeah. So as far as scaling goes, you can scale to 2 million with FTMO, which I know people aren't going to believe that, but you can. Look at their website.
With
it's a thing.
So with payouts, how do payouts work? Like how do I get paid from FTMO?
Oh, great question. Yeah. So I don't know for the other ones I listed. Y'all would have to go check for me, or whatever. Like I said, do your own research. I really highly advise you to. But for FTMO, they have 80-20 a while back. 70 or 80-20 now, 80-20 profit split. So you keep 80% of the profits that you make on a funded account, and they'll keep 20. And this can be scaled up to 90-10, where you can get 90% and they'll keep 10%, which is amazing. Just imagine if you have a 100K account, that's life changing.
That's crazy.
So, even less than 100K, that can still be life changing. But yeah, so that's how you get paid. Just trade through them. But you can buy weekly payments, like 2 weeks or a month. Like I said, different prop firms, it varies. They'll have either monthly payments, bi-weekly payments, weekly payments. The list differs, but yeah, you'll get an invoice, so sent through your email, and you'll get your shut. You'll get that
1099, and you'll be good.
I'm telling you guys, it is a different feeling whenever you see that hit your account. Like my first, not my first, but my second payment from FTMO was like 11,000 or something.
And about like how long did that take from your confirmation email to hit your account?
Yeah. So another great thing about FTMO, why I recommend them so highly, is because whenever it comes to their payouts, they don't bullshit, they don't play around. So you'll get your payout. I mean, literally within 2 to 3 days. Almost every time. I mean, I've heard of some people getting it within the same day. They go over your account first, and then they send you the invoice. I'm talking about from since you got the invoice. But there's other other prop firms that take a little bit longer. I've heard of some taking like a week or something like that. Whatever. Nothing. If it's going over that, there's a problem. You need to contact them. Right. There's something going on, right? But yeah. So yeah, just the ones I listed, they're not going to play around with your money. You're going to get paid. But FTMO is quick, very quick on paying you. And read what I was saying earlier, it's just a different feeling when you see that hits your account. I'm telling you, because all the hard work you put in, and it's like you really just made what some people are making in half a year, some people are making in 6 months or whatever.
What's some hard ass labor?
Yeah, but you just made that from clicking. And I'm not trying to make it sound that easy, because it's not.
Because it's the easiest, hardest money
at that moment. But yeah.
Oh man.
So talking again to the beginning trader, this is what really I would like what we were talking about earlier. If you could go back and do something different, this is one of those things. Like everyone thinks you need your own money, all this money into an account. You can possibly try to day trading. 2 years ago,
now you used to. Yeah, this is like somewhat newer.
That's how it used to be.
Yeah.
But 2 years ago when we started, that's exactly.
So all you guys who were just now getting
it's not
in,
really that much newer. It's just y'all didn't know about it.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, true. So like for all you guys who are just now getting in, I mean, lucky.
So
You're lucky that we're lacing you up
the
on it.
best opportunity that you have to grow money, right? In my personal opinion, learn the skill, apply yourself, try to learn how to trade, and then go test yourself, try to pass one of these verifications, and get funded.
Yeah, they have
no longer have to leverage your own capital.
Right.
If you didn't have to spend any money to make some money, why would it?
exactly.
Right? So try to learn how to trade, go pass a
Yeah,
verification.
and they have demo challenges too.
Yeah, I was
So
gonna
like,
say,
yeah, they have the
for
demo
our,
challenges.
for our traders out there that are at least to the intermediate level, or not intermediate, as long as you know the basics, you've been out there trading, you know how to pop down trade, right? You don't have to be profitable or anything like that. They have those demo challenges with FTMO. I'm sure the other prop firms have demo challenges too. I know I've seen them on other ones. I just couldn't recall them by name. But I know FTMO does, and it's a great way to track yourself as a trader. Like especially if you want to be an FTMO trader, which I don't know why you wouldn't, but it's a great way to track yourself. They have the account metrics on there too, so you can see exactly how you're trading every day, exactly how long you're in a trade, what's your position size, what are you doing more? Are you selling or buying more? What time of the day are you buying? Things like that. Like what trades are more of your winners and losers? Are you winning more whenever you buy and losing more whenever you sell, or vice versa? You can see all of that through the account metrics. And this is just specifically through FTMO. Again, I don't know for sure through the rest of them. I'm not trying to make this an FTMO
like a promo over here.
But I just can't help but say it's just all beneficial things. They have so many tools, and like I said, if you're an intermediate trader out there and prop firms are new to you and you haven't heard about it and it's interesting to you, I highly advise you to go open up a demo account and see what you can do with the demo prop firm account. See what the possibilities are, because I'm telling you, it's insane. Once you open the door, I mean, it's insane.
Again, zero risk to you. You can go open a demo for 100% free. Right? You don't have to pay anything.
But what do they have to want? What do they have to want?
Well, you tell them.
They have to want to learn for themselves, man. You feel me? If you can't half-ass this shit, bro, I'm telling you right now. If you come in this game trying to half-ass it, trying to treat it like a game instead of a business, you're never gonna make it, because it's a business. But yeah. So enough about prop firms though. But I want to ask you, what's a good source of education for these listeners? That's free. What's your top three?
So off the top of my head, the ones that I can really recommend, these are going to be YouTube channels that you can look at.
I already know the first one.
My very first one is ICT, Inner Circle Trading. His style of trading is actually what me and Trent are both trying to learn right now and dial in. He has a completely different outlook on the market and why things move and how things move. If you are a person that likes to know why things happen, why things move the way that they do, then I highly recommend him to you. He has been a profitable trader, definitely a millionaire. He's been trading for over 30 years, and all the content that he puts out is 100% for free. So you can go to his YouTube channel, Inner Circle Trading. He has a plethora of videos, hundreds of hours of videos.
Seriously.
Sometimes it's a little overwhelming how much content he has, but every single video is nuggets of gold in the aspect of trading. That's definitely number one. Number two is he's more of the retail friendly. He teaches you the chart patterns. If you're looking for certain things like candlesticks, if you want to see a bull flag like you were talking about, head and shoulders, just the way that he teaches things. He's also a millionaire trader. He is YouTube as Team Bull Trading, social media as J Dunn. Like I said, this is non-promotional. This is just guys put out.
Jay Dunn, we need to get you on the pod. Get you on the pod, brother.
Awesome. But he's a super great resource. Also putting out tons of content for free. Like we said earlier, there's hundreds and thousands of accounts on YouTube that are putting out content. Some of the stuff you have to filter through. Thankfully for you guys, we've sat through 2 years of YouTube University. I can tell you actually good content. The content that is really going to be used for you. So like I said, number one, ICT. Number two, Team Bull Trading. Number three, his name is Team 2 Trading. Team 2 number 2. He's on Twitter as Casey Trades, I believe. But he's also putting out really, really good content. He has a supply and demand aspect outlook on the market. These are all just different styles of trading. But he has really, really great content as well. What about you guys?
Okay, so for my number one, already said it, but yeah, ICT, man, I can't stress this enough. If you want to know why the market moves and the real in-depth details to everything, and I promise you, it is overwhelming. It's overwhelming for me too. So I would definitely recommend like intermediate to advanced. I'm not saying don't start as a beginner. If anything, it would be a great place to start because you would not have any bad tendencies. You would just be starting, no bias. You would just be starting with a great foundation, but it would be a very big thing. It would be a lot. Yeah, it would be a lot. So ICT number one, definitely. The second one, I would kind of like to go on what you were saying was more retail concepts. ICT is more like institutional and order flow and stuff like that. But Rainer Tao, I don't know if I'm saying his name right, but it's RAYNERTEO. Yeah, Teo. But yeah, regardless. Anyways, this is for more basics. If you want to know like candlestick patterns, open, high, low, close of candlesticks, the volume, what's a stronger candlestick, what's a weaker candlestick, what a doji is, what's a morning star, things like this, bull flag, bear flag, this would be the guy to go to. And then if you just want some motivation, some influencers to look at, someone to show you what is possible in trading, the different things that you can do, I would say Limbo Raul, that was one of my very first ones, one of the very first people that showed me that a lot of things are actually possible with trading. So I got to see him on YouTube whenever he first started, not being the biggest trader, being this multi-millionaire that he is now to where he is now. Even though I'm not directly a part of his life, it was cool to be able to see that because he directly got an influence in mine. And another one I'll give out there is just Q Banks. Q Banks is amazing content, great stuff on Instagram, on social medias, and
yeah, those are some pretty good bangers right there. But we are kind of running out of time. I kind of want to go over what we're going to go over on the next pod, kind of give our guests something to look forward to. And what are you guys thinking for the beginner trader?
Okay, so on our next podcast, we're going to be going over journaling, effects journaling has had on our trading, how it's made us better, worse, the things that we've got to see in our trading from journaling that you probably wouldn't be able to see just throughout trading, like if you weren't journaling. And we're also going to talk about our emotions, and emotions time journaling. You should be talking about your emotions in your journaling too. But, we're going to go over our emotions, different things we feel, you're missing out, and all the crazy things that go on the market whenever you're in trading. So that's it.
Yeah, I think that episode will be really kind of nitty gritty too. I'm really looking forward to that one. Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Let's Start Trading. Capital.
Yes, sir. Oh, one more thing. Just remember, y'all, it's possible.
It's possible.
It's possible. Let's get it.
All right.